Let's get to the basketball court, though. We saw the New York Knicks push forward, go up 3-2 in this series. We saw Jalen Brunson look absolutely unstoppable. It surprised most of us. It didn't surprise you. Why?
One, he was able to get home and get treatment. We talked about that on First Take, okay? Being back at the crib, being able to get in your training facility, being able to get rest. That's number one. Number two, Tom Thibodeau has been catching a lot of heat. Those same people that was giving him heat, to give him his praises. You did it today on First Take. He made an adjustment. Putting Deuce McBride in that starting lineup. Guess what? He pulled the Indiana on Indiana, meaning we're going to get up and down. We're going to push the pace. We're going to have spacing. And what did that do? That allowed big body Brunson to be able to operate, man, and attack downhill without having, guys being able to load up and play boxes and elbows. And when they were getting out in transition, I thought Deuce McBride, I thought Josh Hart, they did an exceptional job of getting to the basket. So let's give Tom Thibodeau all the credit in the world for his adjustments. Also, let's give Tom Thibodeau all the credit in the world because when they landed, after they got their behinds kicked in game 4, when they got back, Tom Thibodeau gave them the day off the next day. It was no film session. It was none of that. It was show up and shoot around. Let's go over our walkthroughs, go home and get more rest. And it showed. It showed on the floor. So at the end of the day, I understand big body Brunson, he did big body things. That's what he do. Okay. But at the end of the day, it came down to Tom Thibodeau, Rick Brunson, Darren Erman. They made the necessary adjustments and they challenged their team from a level of physicality, and they responded.
Well, why did the New York Knicks get their ass kicked in Game 4 to the degree that they did in your estimation?
Because they wanted Game 3, S.A. They didn't want Game 4. They wanted Game 3. They knew, right, with a limited roster, with all the injuries that they're dealing with, it's hard as hell walking into an afternoon game on the road, right? You got an early game with less than a 48-hour turnaround. Man, that's hard. You see what happened when they're fresh? They came into Game 3, they were fresh. I mean, Jalen Brunson was hobbling a little bit, but they still had a chance to win Game 3. They knew they weren't going to have a chance to win Game 4. Credit to the Pacers because, the youth kicked in. But, boy, when the Knicks team gets some rest and they're able to go out there, and keep their normal routine, they've been in every game or have won every game against the Indiana Pacers.
The interesting part about all of this, sticking with the New York Knicks and the Pacers series for just one more quick second, the interesting part about this is that Indiana's defense is very poor, but not when they're pressuring the basketball. That's their strength. It's when you get through that pressure and you get to set up your offense and they've got to set up their defense. That's when they're most vulnerable. So to me, Tom Thibodeau starting McBride, going small, having an extra ball handler in there, having somebody that could set those picks who could ultimately slide off of it and drill some open perimeter shots. I thought that was genius on Tibbs' part, and obviously it exposed Indiana. Most people think that Indiana will come back and win Game 6. You're of the mindset that's not the case, and I'm believing you feel that way because of the day's rest between Tuesday and Friday's game. You're looking at that, and you're saying that's the key to the Knicks being able to win this series in 6 games. Am I correct?
You're correct. And look, let me take it a step further because it was. I know it's usually only one unsung hero, but in that game last night, it was 3 of them. Okay. It was Isaiah Hartenstein. It was Alex Burke. I thought he played a hell of a game. And Precious Achiuwa.
Yes.
Okay. I'm telling you, what's been the knock on Precious this entire time is his IQ, right? I saw so many times last night where they were hitting him in that pocket pass, he was making the right play. He wasn't trying to do too much. He was just being a star in his role. I saw him being a guy that was sacrificing his body for the rim protection. Isaiah Hartenstein, 12 offensive rebounds.
offensive rebounds.
A monster. A monster in the paint. So again, those three unsung heroes. Look, I feel like with these days of rest, and when you have the best player in the series on your team, and Jalen Brunson, because he's starting to look healthy.
Right.
What I saw last night, the way that he was moving, walking into Indiana, after we seen this movie before last series against the 76ers, I got all the trust in the world they could close this out.